think we're ready to start. So I will call the regular meeting of the Temple City City Council to order. Madam Clerk, if we could have roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Chen.
Here.
Councilmember Mann is absent. Councilmember Sternquist.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yu.
Here.
Mayor Chavez.
Here. Can we have a motion to excuse Councilmember Mann?
So made.
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Any objection? If not, Councilmember Mann is excused. Before we move on to the rest of our agenda, I would like to ask our city attorney, Mr. Murphy, to report out on our closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the City Council met at 6:30 and went into closed session to discuss an employee performance evaluation of the city manager. Council adjourned closed session at 7:15 and gave direction for an item to be placed on the regular meeting agenda for council's next meeting in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will begin with our invocation. After our invocation, please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. I'm happy to welcome back Pastor Kelty from Community of Christ Church, who will provide tonight's invocation. So please stand.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Our divine creator, we thank you for this beautiful world that you have created. We thank you for this most beautiful day that you two have created. The deed that provides light, but I wish more in the evening. We thank you that we're able to gather here this evening at this place, do the business of this city, and then make it a better place for us to live. It's for this reason we have come to your presence to ask your blessing upon all of those who are gathered. May this city's council and staff be firmly aware of their obligations both to you and to this community to build a better community for all its citizens for now and into the future. We do not know what the future may bring, but would ask, dear Creator, that we might become wise and intelligent and knowing. We will see those things which you would have us do. Indeed, we might continue to become a city you would have us become, a place where people can live in peace, hope, joy, peace. These things we ask for this generation, for the next. Amen.
Amen. Okay, if you will please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. We have the flag over to my left. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay. We will now move on to item 5, our ceremonial matters. I'm pleased to welcome back representatives from the Los Angeles County Sanitation District. We have with us tonight Mr. Kwong Lee. Hey, so I believe you're going to do the presentation? All right, welcome. And I think you have someone else with you too as well. Do you want to introduce him now, or is he going to come up in a minute? Okay, so we'll introduce him. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
I am the squad. I'm a CM engineer for the project in Temple City. So we used to present my project. So we have in our county sanitation district, we have Christian Whip, which is from the design team, and he also have Roman Messian, which is the management supervisor, and also myself is coordinator. I will also was CN engine for this project, and I will be the main point of contact if any question will come up. My business card will have it, so you get to contact me any question you want to ask, you can email me or call me. We also have consultant and contractor can run this project. As we try to move, one of our main responsibility is a sanitary service for, and then we also maintain, are responsible for maintenance of the network of our sewer pipe, and then we doing average of over 30 projects per year, and spend over $100 million to happy to take our all sewer pipe. one of our rehabilitation method is CIPP. So what is CIPP? You can look at in this video.
CIPP is a method used to replace a deteriorated underground pipe without digging it up. In the simplest terms, it is a pipe within a pipe. Here's how it works. A tube made of polyester felt or fiberglass, designed to the appropriate thickness and length for the application, is saturated with resin. This is also referred to as the wet-out process. The resin-saturated tube is then installed into the existing deteriorated pipe by inverting the tube into position using water or air pressure, or by pulling the tube into place and inflating it. Once in place, the tube is cured or hardened under pressure by using heat in the form of hot water or steam.
And I'm assuming these are very similar or the same thing as what we've been going on in the rest of our city, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So just a reminder, the cure in place process, as the mayor's pointed out, is similar to what we've seen in the projects throughout the city, so not as disruptive to the residents and part of the process. And when sewer service is interrupted, it is only interrupted for a very short period of time, so that there's not trenching that disrupts their service for an extended period of time.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. Right.
I would see, is there a distance limit and size limit to this process?
So, we do, so each day we coming to the site and then we do average like 400 feet of on the sewer pipe. So from one manhole upstream to like,
Yeah, okay, manhole to manhole.
yeah, manhole to manhole. So it's about 400 feet of sewer pipe. We're gonna rehabilitate one day. So we're gonna do 6 day total limit. And I'm move on to the next slide.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so this is the project summary. So the total sewer we have is about 13,500 feet of sewer, at 2,400 feet would be within the Temple City along Lower AZUSA Road. We have 52 manhole and 13 of them would be along Lower AZUSA Road. Along Lower AZUSA Road, we have approximately 18 household and business at the road connection. And then we have one school along the road, which is Gidley Elementary School. And then as you can see in the email, we would prefer doing CIPP rehabilitation over the replacement because it's almost no disruption into no no disruption to the city street and city property, and the construction cost is $2.7 million. So here you can see like the outline of the map of our project in the city of Temple City. So it's in all the sewer we're gonna rehab is located in Lower AZUSA Road from Paulwyn Avenue to Arden Drive, and then you can see over here there was a school that's located along the road that's right next to our project. So and on the north is Temple City and the south Monte, so we have to get a permit from both Temple City and Monte for this section.
So is the sewer going down the middle of the road, or is the sewer line in the middle of the road, or is it on the north or south side of the street?
It's so.
Or it goes back and forth?
Yeah, some section.
Interesting.
Yeah, some section is located, like in the Temple City side. Some section is located in Monte side. That's why we have to obtain a permit from both. And then we do got a permit from city of Monte last month. And then one of our agreement with city of Monte, because the school is located over here.
Yeah, it's Kisley.
So we have to utilize this holiday school closure to do our rehabilitation. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the schedule we're gonna use. We're gonna do, this is for our agreement with City of Monte. So from the November 19 to the November 20, we're gonna do pre-construction CCTV and sewer cleaning. So no service interruption at a time. From the 21st to the 22nd, we're gonna do temporary sewer clean out installation. I'm gonna show you the location later on. And here's is the map. Here's the schedule that we we have 6 days to installing the sewer CIPP along the lower AZUSA road. So we utilize the school closure from the 25th to the 27th of November, which is Thanksgiving week. We're gonna, and also from the December 23rd, which is Christmas. Christmas Monday before Christmas. And then January 2nd and January 3rd, so total 6 days. We're gonna utilize those for doing CIPP installation when the school was closed. This is the agreement between us and City of El Monte to minimize the service interruption.
So basically, there's no interruption, no service interruptions for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Is that correct? Okay, what about everybody else in the neighborhood?
So every day when we come into this, so
Because if I look at your schedule,
yes.
when is Thanksgiving? This 28th, I believe, is the 28th.
The conditions of approval that we'll have in the permit will delegate a very similar type of schedule so that there is no interruption for either, and the project itself, the roadway is all in Temple City. So there will not, any sewer connection on lateral connections that, as we have done throughout the project with our partners with the County Sanitation District, we will make sure that there's no holidays or anything else. That will be part of the conditions of approval. We are partnering with Almani. TransTech actually works with Almani as well, so we have some coordination between both the city and Michael Lloyd, who you've seen many times before. We are making sure that there is a coordination between both our agencies and with the sanitation district to make sure service disruption is limited throughout. Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, you had a question?
Yeah, so I heard that you're working with 2 agencies, City of Temple City and City of Mount Monty. How about the school district?
They've been working with the school district as well, so they don't grant, as you know, they don't grant the permit.
Right.
But we're, as the sanitation district has pointed out, and Mr. Lee has pointed out, we're cognizant of the schedule as well. So we're working with both. So again, as we've been going through, and the sanitation district has done an excellent job, and they've cut through parts of Temple City where there have been schools as well. Oak Avenue, the backside of Temple City High School as well. We've really come across no problems. It's been as smooth as possible, if you can describe sewer work as smooth as possible.
One way to describe it. Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
great, thank you. All right.
We describe by calling it, keep it in the pipe.
So continue to our schedule. So from the January 3rd to the 13th, we're gonna do manhole rehabilitation. So that's at our work that was called service interruption. So basically, just send a technician inside the manhole to do coating for protective to apply protective coating inside the manhole.
Do they replace the manhole cover also, or just the inside underneath it?
Just inside.
Oh, okay.
So here is our high pass. So you can see on the dash drive is like the section that they're gonna do rehabilitation. So basically, we're gonna pump all the sewers, inflowing sewers, above ground to our high pass system, and dump it back into the manhole, downstream manhole. So we can keep those dash drive section, the rehabilitation section, dry. Here's how we do source installation. So you can see clearly here, we got about 2 neck blows, and then we're gonna have a truck apart here, and then installing the liner inside the sewer, put the manhole inside the sewer, and over here is the truck that we're gonna use to avoid the water, and then the CIPP gonna curve by the volume bar. over here is a bypass system, so you can see like we pumping all the inflow sewer to pumping in above ground to the bypass. Just point out in the project we're gonna use 2-inch high pass, so this is probably 8-inch. So we use much smaller pump and hose, so it's easy to set up and remove every day. So yes, this is a map of the bypass go along the street. And during the installation, there will be service interruption. So we provide portable toilet as well as hand washing station for the resident.
If I recall, that is only if they request it, right? You don't pull one to every house.
So we have those set up, like on the street. So yeah, so
People who need to use a toilet or need to doing those gonna use our
I
portable.
understand, but you're not providing one for every house,
No,
right?
yes,
It's only if they ask for it, right?
yes. So, this is our temporary clean out. So you can see the property over here, the highlight property, that have probably 15 household. So we don't want like all 15 household got any interruption during our installation, CIPP installation. So we're gonna install the clean out, temporary clean out, and then through that we're gonna pumping all the sewers coming from those 15 property above ground. So there will be no service interruption at this property.
Okay.
This is the manhole rehab picture. You can see we had sending a technician inside the manhole to apply the protective coating, and then probably this is how we set up the manhole rehabilitation, traffic control for manhole rehabilitation. So you can see it's very minimal. We only need to close one lane, so for about like 100 feet or something, 50 to 100 feet, just enough for us to park a truck and then have the technician to come inside the manhole. And then this is our outreach. So we do in sequence from 14 days, 7 days, and 24 hours in advance of the work. So resident is notified. And then for the service interruption, it's gonna be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So after 4 p.m. when people come back from work, mostly we're gonna have the service reinstated. And then this is the outreach form. It's gonna be in English, Spanish, and also in Mandarin Chinese. I think I already hand out a couple of copies of those outreach form. It's have my contact information over here, my cell phone number, my email address, and also our emergency 24-hour number. And
Do you have signage along Lower SUCCESSOR that also shows similar information? I mean, not everybody would have. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
he see it head nodding.
It has details, but I believe it'll have the address to a website, which has all this information, and it definitely.
And also a phone number, his phone number on it.
Yes.
As well, right?
That's the part of the detail I don't recall if it's his phone number or our 24/7.
Somebody's phone number that they can call, right?
yeah, and then we're gonna hand it to, I think, like the resident along the road that have a service interruption. So if anything, they can call me.
Okay, Councilmember Sternquist, you had a question?
Yes, is there any accommodations for people with disabilities to use the restrooms? Or has anyone contacted you in other, when you've done other projects that maybe had a disability, and what is done for those people?
So we have, as you see on the previous slide, we have portable restroom available. So I will
Are they
ask.
wheelchair accessible, or?
Can I get back to you on that question? It's a
Sure.
great question, and don't think we have an answer for that right now.
Okay,
But I'll jot that down and get back to you.
okay.
Yeah, so you have my contact info, my business card. You can email both me and Romeo on that regard, and then we will get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does that conclude your report?
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you have any
Yeah,
questions.
any further questions from the council? I have a couple of, one is to Brian. Brian, have we received any complaints from any of our residents regarding the previous projects?
Any complaints that we've received either about delineators or markings and the manner in which some of the road closures have happened, those have been addressed with both TransTech and has been addressed by the sanitation district and their contractors very expeditiously. That's been one of the biggest complaints that we've gotten, just, you know, some of the cones being in a bad position, or if the temporary lines have been moved slightly, you know, to where the right-of-way is not as accessible. But again, the calls to the sanitation district have been answered immediately. The contractors are out there. So we've gotten calls on a Sunday late afternoon, especially the one on Encinita as well. So that's have been dealt with. Michael's been dealing with those as well throughout. So that's been, quite frankly, our biggest complaint. In terms of the actual service issues, not that I'm aware of any complaints as well. Both the contractor and the sanitation district have done an excellent job of communicating to those affected, both businesses and residences, in terms of when their service is being turned off. And from my understanding, especially this section of the project to Temple City is run pretty smoothly, with glitches along the way, obviously, with any project. But in terms of the service itself, has been going very well.
You know, one of the things that has been brought up in the past is the perceived delay of the completion of the jobs after the piping is taken care of, as far as the repaving of the street.
Yes.
And the fact, I know that you usually lay down a metal grate on the pavement, and then it hasn't been repaved perhaps quickly. Is there a reason for that? Do you have to leave it open for a while to just make sure it's working well?
I can speak to a little bit of
Yeah,
Mayor.
okay.
Mayor, so two things. One is our conditions of approval we have with our street maintenance plan, even for utilities. In this case, the sanitation district is considered a utility in terms of utility cuts in our public right-of-way, including our streets. They have to return those streets into a previous condition. So part of that is, quite frankly, our conditions that we're asking them to do. So sometimes when they're doing a really good job of laying down and safely laying down the ramps and the metal pads so that it safely can be traversed on by vehicles of all different weights and sizes.
Is there a time frame of which?
So they
have
usually like
remove
to,
those?
because, and similar to our street projects as well, they don't like to do those in sections. They like to do those all in one big chunks in terms of cost efficiency for the sanitation district as well. So you may be seeing those metal plates out there for a little bit longer, several weeks after even you've seen even after they've completed the work, but that will get done. I understand that it is an inconvenience for some of the community members that are out there, but the end product that they will get at the end of the day, in this case, sections will be grind and overlaid to the previous condition. So it may be a little bit 2 or 3, sometimes even maybe 3 weeks longer than when you've seen actually the completion of the project. So
I haven't been over there recently, but has Encinita been paved over, or are they still
Not
have
yet.
the metal? So are they waiting? So what you're saying is they're waiting till like Lower AZUSA's done?
yes, so
Before they'll even come in and do Encinitas?
one for the engineers are here to speak to this, but just in case as they're going through the project, they don't want to seal something up completely and then find something at the end of the line that may be problematic. They want to.
Well, that's why I've asked, is there a certain reason why those metal grates are still down there?
If I can let Michael
Yeah, go
speak
ahead,
to
Michael.
that.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So I just want to, number one, make a quick distinction. So the Lower AZUSA project is not associated with the Encinita.
No, I understand
project.
that, but what I heard the city manager saying is that it appears that they're not going to complete the Encinitas project from the standpoint of paving the street until maybe some of these other projects like Lower AZUSA are done.
No,
Is that's not correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's not correct.
Correct, that statement was not
I'm,
correct.
okay.
In a roundabout way, I think I got
We're all
that.
confused now, that's okay.
Sorry for my
That's all right.
confusion.
No,
So-
my fault.
No.
Go ahead.
So for specific to Encinitas, the trenches that you're referring to,
Mm-hmm.
what the way I understand the contract through the district was set up, the paving company is a subcontractor to the prime.
Mm-hmm.
And so the intent is to go ahead and finish the limits of that work along Encinitas before they bring out the paving
Mm-hmm. Okay,
sub.
that makes sense, yeah.
So that's the cost efficiency that
Okay.
the city manager was
And do we have a
referring to.
timeline on when that's gonna be?
So the last I heard is we're expecting them to start that work very soon. I believe actually Broadway at Encinitas, that paving work was actually underway today
I saw that.
because we
Okay.
had some tweaks that we need to
Okay,
make with the
good.
contractor. So my understanding is they're working their way southerly in addressing those trenches.
Perfect.
One final distinction I'd like to make, for this project along Lower Azusa, my understanding is there will be no trenching, so we won't have to deal with this specific issue.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, any other questions? Vince, did you have something?
I have more of a question was, there's some businesses along this stretch of the road too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is really the shopping season. Do you think this might have any impact on the businesses along that?
As I say previously, we only do 400 feet, 400 feet of sewer each day. So it's gonna be impact for like that 400 feet session on one day.
Yeah, but your bypass is gonna run all the way along though, right?
No, it's only run from one manhole, from the
The
section. that we-
bypass, so your bypass will be gone, will be out for how long? Between manhole
So,
to manhole?
so what we're gonna do is, so we have total 2,400 feet of
Right.
sewer along the lower AZUSA road. So we're gonna do is in 6 days. So each day we're gonna do around 400 feet. So we have 400 feet of bypass set up, and then also CIPP installation. So the bypass gonna be run around 400 feet. So we're gonna close probably 1 to 2 lanes for that because we have a bypass run along the road. And then as you see, we start working from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's going to be interruption around impact around around 8 hours.
Yeah, I understand, but my question is really, because I'm familiar with what you did on Encinitas, I drive that street every day to work. But the bypass is there for a long time, so you cannot make left turns and, so, yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you, because of our setup here, if you're gonna speak, could you come to the microphone so we can hear what you're
Because
saying? Thank you.
we're recording it too.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Yeah.
That was my fault, I should have reminded you.
So this is a smaller project. We're not going to have a multi-day, very long bypass on this
Right.
project. What Young's trying to explain is that each day we're going to take down the bypass. It will
Oh,
be
you are?
impacted during business hours,
Uh-huh.
understandably, so there will be some impact, but it's not the same as the project that you're referring to.
Oh, okay, so the bypass will be gone.
Yes.
Okay,
Good, thank you.
thanks.
Okay. All right, if there are no other questions, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming and explaining, and good luck. All right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Done a great job so far, so we
Thank you.
anticipate continuance.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good evening. Okay, we will now move on to item 6, public comments on items not listed on the agenda. I don't have any speaker requests. Does anybody wish to speak at this time?
You could tell them they could go if they want.
Yeah, you can go if you want to. Yeah, you don't have to say, we won't be offended.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, this would be a good moment. Thank you for coming. All right. All right, hearing or seeing none, we will close public comments. We will now move to the consent calendar. All consent calendar items may be approved in a single motion as recommended unless removed for further discussion. Does anyone wish to pull any items on the consent calendar? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I will move to approve the consent calendar.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, if we have roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Chen?
Yes.
Councilmember Sternquist?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Yu?
Yes.
Mayor Chavez?
Yes. And just before we leave this, I just want to point out one of the items on the consent calendar is an item that always comes up at this time of the year, and that is the relaxation of our overnight parking enforcement during the holiday season. So if you have any questions about that, certainly contact City Hall. Just briefly, we are relaxing the overnight parking enforcement from Tuesday, November 26th through Sunday, December 1st to accommodate the Thanksgiving weekend, and then again from December 21st through January 5th to the holiday New Year's time period. So,
Mayor, may I just add
Yeah, of
one
course.
comment to that? Thank you
course,
for
yes,
bringing
go
that up. Because I also need to remind the residents that while the overnight is relaxed, the street
Yeah, street sweeping
sweeping
is
is
not,
not.
Thank you for
So-
reminding me. Yeah, the street sweeping is still in effect,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we will move on to, where are we? Public hearing, number 8, there is none. Unfinished business, there is none tonight. New business, there is none. What, quick meeting. All right.
Yes, sir.
Next, we will move on to item 11, update from our city manager, Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Mayor Chavez and members of the council. Thank you again to the county library. Jang is in the back there. Thank you so much for hosting us here. Hopefully, this will be one of our last meetings, as much as we've enjoyed ourselves here, and that hopefully we'll be back in the chamber
We like
soon.
it so much, we want to stay.
You can, Mayor Pro Tem, you can choose to have your location wherever you like, as long as we properly notice it. But we'll likely this will be one of our last meetings here. But thank you to our partners at the county library as well. Lastly, I'd like to introduce, and he'll be here after the meeting, our new Administrative Services Director and City Treasurer, Alexander Kung, who comes to us from the city of La Cañada Flint Ridge. Prior to that, Deputy Director of Admin Services with the city of Monrovia, and prior history as an auditor, and we're happy to have him as part of the team.
Great.
So.
Would you like to get up and say a few words? Introduce yourself? Come on up, yeah. Put you on the spot there. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and council members.
Good evening.
Just wanted to thank you and the residents for putting your trust in me, and hope to work for you for a very long time.
Well, we hope
you.
the same,
Welcome.
same as well. So thank you. Welcome to Temple City.
Thank you.
Look
Welcome.
forward to working with you. I know Vince and I can hardly wait till our first audit.
Absolutely.
Coming up soon.
Holding our breath. All right, so thank you. Welcome. And Jen, thank you for the placemats. Very nice. Thank you.
Camellia Festival.
Does it come in the festival? Oh, I thought you guys had put them on here. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you credit for it anyway. All right, thank you. All right. Okay, is that it? Just a reminder, you probably forgot, but we have our Veterans Day celebration on Monday.
Let you take that,
All right,
Mayor.
so Veterans Day celebration here at Temple City Park, Monday, it's beginning at 10:30. Adam Matsumoto, our Parks and Rec Director, has got that all worked out for us. We're gonna have a flyby and all the regular stuff, and also have lunch for everyone. So if you have time during the day, make sure you come out 10:30 on Monday. Thank you. Is that it?
That's it,
All
sir.
right, thank you. Mr. City Attorney, anything tonight? None tonight. Thank you. All right, we will now move on to council reports regarding ad hoc or standing committee meetings. Do we have any reports from anyone?
No, Mayor.
Okay,
Oops, I was gonna say, when was our meeting, Brian?
Last week. That's, what date was it? Our standing committee meeting on the future.
It was
the
last
cham-
week sometime.
Yes,
Which
on
one
the
was
future
that?
of the chamber site.
oh, okay. Did you want to report out on that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So we had a great meeting. We looked at some really unique options for recreation for both kids and adults. And we gave our input, both William and I, and we will have the meeting maybe in about a month, or will it be sooner than that?
Within a month, before the end of the year is what we're hoping for.
within a month, and we'll bring back those design options to the council. But I think it's going to be really a beautiful and welcoming site for our residents and any visitors who come to our city. So thank you, Adam, for the work you did for that also.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, before we leave this section, I would like to propose setting up an ad hoc committee to look at the development of the new property that we recently acquired,
5003 Cerrito.
Sereno. Yeah, many of you know that we had acquired a corner lot on that spot, and so what I would like to do tonight is to appoint an ad hoc committee to work with staff in the development and ideas and bring those back to council at a future time. So unless anybody has an abiding interest to serve on that, I would propose that Councilmember Sternquist and I be on that committee, if that's okay with everyone. Okay? So with that, Mr. Murphy, I don't think I need to do anything further. We'll have the city clerk note that, so we'll add that to the ad hoc committees, and we'll talk about when we want to have a first meeting. Okay? All right, thank you. All right, so now we will move on to item 14, council items separate from the city manager's regular agenda. Councilmember Chen, do you have anything to add this evening?
Just a very quick update on a meeting I attended. That's the Metro San Gabriel Valley Service Sector. Spent a little bit of time talking about the Dodgers parade, the first of such kind in many, many years. Metro did quite a bit to move people around with the buses and trains, and it was a very busy day for Metro. Metro staff did a very good update on that and some lessons learned for the El Monte bus station, which is quite a bit of a transfer hub here in the San Gabriel Valley.
Have you guys started talking about the Olympics already, I would imagine?
The Metro staff is in full gear trying to prepare for it. There's been some discussion about this being a trial run to move that amount of people. I believe the actual crowd estimate was in the 200,000s for the Dodger parade. However, there has not been any formalized agendized item on this body. There's one item, however, this last meeting that particularly pertains to Temple City, and that's the line 267 and the 686 line, which had been previously in Pasadena. Those two lines had merged, and it actually helped shorten the wait time or increase the frequency of the bus service for line 267. So that's going to be the new line, line 267. And for those of you not familiar with the Metro line system, that bus line travels down Temple City Boulevard. So since they encourage us board members to take public transit to attend that meeting, I've twice now boarded that bus. And each time I was quite surprised because I boarded around Temple City High School and I see students getting on the bus, and then they will get off somewhere on Temple City, La Rosa, or near Las Tunas, to wherever their destination, whether it's home or to the shops along Las Tunas. But it's a pretty full bus, and I think the Metro has also reported, due to the combination of the two lines, there's actually an increase of 26% on the ridership. So that's welcoming to see, and as it pertains to Temple City. So glad to see that.
Thank you for that report. Okay, Councilmember Sternquist, anything you'd like to add tonight?
Just a couple of things since we met. Both you and I think Ed came to the 100th anniversary of the San Gabriel Valley Humane Society. It was just a lovely event, very well done. I think they did have some dogs adopted, which was really nice to see, but kudos to them for really reaching out to the community and the residents around, inviting them. They had coffees, any coffee you wanted. They were making coffees, donuts. They had a dog walk, I believe.
Yeah, Jane and Tess walked
and
that.
Tess did the dog walk. So it was really a lovely affair. Halloween event was phenomenal. So kudos to our Parks and Recreation staff and to you, Adam. It was just, it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. And I think the tribute to Dia de los Muertos was just so nice for the community, and I saw so many different people engaged, asking questions, learning about it. So it was just a really, really nice event. And I did not get one kid or even teen trick-or-treating on my street. And I think that's because everybody was at the park. So it's really turned out to be a really great event for our community. So thanks. That's it.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, you.
Nothing more, Mayor, but again, just want to give credit to staff for running such a great event in Halloween.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, Adam, yeah, please express our thanks to your staff. They did a great job. Everybody was in full force. Also, a big thank you to Jerry Jambazian. Spent the whole night taking photos.
Yeah.
So check out TempleCityPhotos.com, and you'll see all the great photos. It was a great event. It really was.
Nice.
Had a big kick. We got the opportunity on council to actually hand out candy and little, what is it?
Medals.
Medals with a little string on it and stuff. And you'd be surprised how the kids got a big kick out of that. And they had a good time. So, yeah, great thing. Also, big thank you to the trunk and treat volunteers. Is that what we called it?
Yep.
Truck or treat, where actually volunteers, different organizations or individuals actually backed their car up onto the field and were handing out candy. And the event started, I think, at 6 o'clock. The line for that candy giveaway was from the middle of Live Oak Park Field all the way past the ball fields. That's how long it went. I think it stayed consistent like that the whole night. So it was quite an
And
event.
very clever
Yes, it was.
decorations on
Yeah.
those cars.
Yeah, we've been doing that, what, a couple, 3 years now, I think, since we started it? Yeah, good idea. And, no, great event. And of course, thank you to our deputies. I know Deputy Bowie was there that night. And you had the same costume on that night that you have tonight.
Same costume.
So you didn't have to change. That's good, yeah. But, no, it was really, I did notice, though, that there were trick-or-treaters around the area of the park. It seemed like to be the overflow from the park. But in our neighborhood, a few blocks
Chicken
away, nobody.
Nope.
And I think that is primarily because of and if you think about it, it really is a safer environment, I think, for the kids and the adults both. They have a good time, and so, yeah, good job by everyone.
So many adults dress up.
Yes, a
It's
lot of
just-
adults were dressing up.
Sometimes families had a theme. I mean, it was just really incredible to
Yes,
see.
a lot of dress up, so good job. And as I said, we've got a Veterans Day celebration, and actually, we've got a very busy time coming up. Lights on Temple City is coming up, and so it's going to be a very busy time, of course, in the city. And thank you to Parks and Rec for pulling all those things off for us. Okay, that's it for me. We will now move on to item 15. We're going to recess to successor agency to the Temple City Community Development Agency meeting. I will call that agency to order. And if we could have roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Chair Member Chen, Agency Member Chen,
Here.
Agency Member Sternquist,
Here?
Vice Chair Yu,
Here.
Chair Chavez,
Here. Agency member Mann is not here. I'll make a motion to excuse him for cause.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Okay, thank you. And we will now move on to our consent calendar. We have a motion on the consent calendar.
Mayor, move to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you.
Second?
We have a second. I believe we have to take roll call on that, so go ahead. Madam Clerk?
thank you. Agency Member Chen,
Yes.
Agency Member Sternquist.
Yes?
Vice Chair Yu,
Yes.
Chair Chavez.
Yes. Okay, unfinished business, there is none. New business, there is none. Communications, none. Public comments, anybody wish to make any public comments on the successor agency? Seeing none, I will close public comments. Update from Executive Director and Agency Council. None tonight. Any matters from agency members? No? Okay, so we are adjourned, and we will now move on to item 16. Any additional public comments on items that are not listed on the agenda? Anybody? Makes it easy. Just a reminder, commission and council meetings between October 15th to November 25th will be held here. However, this may be our last meeting here, but I just want to again thank Jen for all your hospitality and for putting up with us. It's been a great location, and now we know where we can go if we ever have a problem. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, with that, then, we are adjourned. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.